So a few videos back, I talked about ways you can start your weight loss journey, and I talked about motivation. What is a big motivator? Well, for me, one of my biggest motivators was heartbreak. Wanting to become a better man than who I was when I was with that person. But what happens once your heart mends? And I touched on this briefly in my last video about starting a weight loss journey. You know, pain is eventually going to go away. You're eventually going to become a superior version than the person you were when you were with your ex, or when you were friends with a person previously who f***ed you over, or whatever the case may be. And what happens once you've obtained that higher level, once you've mogged their new boyfriend, significant other, partner, or whatever, once you are in better shape than the person who caused you to spiral into this desire to lose the weight and become ripped and become jacked and do all of this? Well, that's an interesting question. I previously mentioned that heartbreak and pain can generate energy. But when you run out of heartbreak, when you are no longer motivated by those playlists, when you are no longer sitting around bemoaning the fact that you are no longer with that person, what do? Right? And for me, what happens is habit takes over heartbreak. You have to get up and go to the gym every single day. You have to go and get that workout. And you have to get it done, because if you don't, your body just simply doesn't feel right. If I don't go to bed with muscle soreness or fatigue, I simply cannot sleep. And if I'm not eating right, my body just doesn't feel good. I feel like shit. And it's important to me to feel good in my own skin. It's important to me to walk around and have energy, healthy energy, and be the best version of myself. So when you run out of that primary primitive motivator, the desire to seek revenge, to upgrade yourself, to upstage that person who f***ed you over, to look better than you ever looked when you were with that ex, you have to replace that heartbreak, that pain, that emotional trauma with just habit. You're gonna get to the point where going to the gym every day just becomes an automatic thing. You don't even think about it. You have your routine, right? My routine, I go to work, I get off of work, I take a nap, I get up, I have a shake or a dinner, and I go to the gym. And I do this every single day. And it's automatic. It's almost robotic. And once you develop that healthy habit of going to the gym, allocating the time to go and lift the weights or do your cardio or go to the grocery store, buy the right foods, learn how to cook a few meals. You're going to save money, you're going to eat healthier, you're going to feel better. At that point, it's self-sustaining. It's almost like a snowball effect. Once you've put all of this work into achieving your goals, it gets harder and harder to stop, because all of the work you put into this up to that point, you don't want to blow that. You don't want it to mean nothing. So you just keep going and you keep going and you keep going. A lot of guys and girls, once they find a new man or a new partner or whatever the case, they'll stop. They will become complacent. They will forget about the gym. They will forget about eating clean. They're so consumed with the relationship. And that's another factor, is you need to keep yourself mentally locked in. You cannot be distracted by a new toy, a shiny new relationship. You have to just keep going. It's going to get to the point where you are working out, you are staying trim, you are staying ripped, simply because it is your normal state at that point. It is your optimal state of being. And it's self-sustaining. So anyway, those are just some thoughts today about, if you find yourself at a point where you are no longer motivated to go to the gym because you no longer have that wellspring of emotional pain to propel you forward, you have to replace it with habit. Simple as that. That's my thought for today. We'll catch you next time. Oh, by the way, I am filming on my full-frame Sony a7 III, S-Log2, ISO 800 with a 50mm 1.8 lens, and let's see how it looks. Anyhow, talk to you later.